Today in the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, we are going to be talking about AEW's future with Warner Media as reports came in as through Bill Simmons, a podcaster, claimed that NBC has already signed a deal with the NBA, leading Warner Media out of having NBA games in their channels. Now, also, we're going to be talking about Eddie Kingston's injury, an update on that, plus who replaced him. Plus, AEW ratings dropped again. I'm going to give you my opinion on that and why that happened. And we're going to be talking more and much more, actually, with the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.
Is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another channel. Welcome to another episode, of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One from New York City. Wow, it's been a while since I've been here. It's been like 2 weeks probably. I've been here, back from my vacation. And the first thing I see as soon as I come back on Monday is reports of AEW may be in, very good now as far as them getting a new TV deal, because supposedly there was a report on Monday going to Tuesday, according to the podcaster Bill Simmons, that NBC has already signed a TV deal with the NBA. That has gone through. Now reports were saying that NBC pretty much bought the TV deals for $2.8 billion, and that Warner Media put in $2.3 billion. That is the rumor. Now, that has not been confirmed, because even Bill Simmons, the podcaster, said they're not going to make the announcement after the playoffs are over. And the only reason they're doing it is because the playoffs. Right now, they are probably going to about to be in the conference finals coming up and whatnot. After that, they're probably going to make the announcement. But now, I believe what Bill Simmons is saying. Well, the simple fact, this is not coming from a dirt sheet, wrestling dirt sheet. It's just not coming from unreliable sources. This man knows what he's talking about. Now, the question is this a good thing for AEW? I personally feel that this may not be good for AEW, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, AEW has spent so much money with Mercedes Moné. To me, that has been a very disappointment. Big money on Kazuchika Okada. Big money on Will Ospreay. Now, when the time comes that you have to pay all these people, and let's say you're not making an income or a return, how are you going to be paying these people? You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned, Warner Brothers or Warner Media Discovery are going to be able to probably give the money that AEW wants for the next TV deals coming up, because right now, as the way it looks, even let's say AEW becomes the big thing in Warner Brothers Media, there's a problem. Warner Brothers right now, Warner Brothers Discovery is on the red, $43 million. Now, are they going to be able to give this? They're going to get that type of money, or whatever money that Tony Khan wants. He may not get it. And that's going to be a problem, because then Tony Khan is going to have to do cuts, get rid of wrestlers who he's not using. And there's a lot of them that he's not using. As you guys already know, Ethan Page is gone from AEW. That ball drop was bad. Yes, Tony Khan dropped the ball with Ethan Page. This guy was big in TNA, and he dropped the ball on that. And he's about to drop the ball again with Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks right now looks like he's heading out of AEW once his contract is over. And there's a lot of rumors going on this week, about this weekend with Ricky Starks. I mean, I seen a lot of stupid comments on Twitter, whether, if what Ricky Stark is, gay or not. Who cares? Like, people are acting like wrestlers, they haven't been gay wrestlers before. They have been. So what's the big deal? So what, Ricky Stark? Ricky Stark really looks up to Cody Rhodes. He made it clear. Cody Rhodes helped him. Has helped him a lot outside of AEW. All this nonsense. And if he goes to WWE, and look, at the end of the day, I can't get mad about that. He got everything. Ricky Stark has everything when it comes as charisma, his wrestling style, everything. This is a big time mess up for Tony Khan and his little guys. And I'm going to be talking about why AEW TV rating has been dropping. Okay. But this deal with AEW as far with Warner Media, again, everybody, a lot of AEW elitists are celebrating. Now, you got the AEW elitists celebrating. You got the WWE the WWE trolls who hate AEW, wants them to die, in a fiery inferno, pissed off probably because they've want AEW to die. But it doesn't matter what the point whether they want them to die, not the AEW is going to be around. But again, is that money going to be coming in the way Tony Khan wants? Okay. Is he going to have to be cutting people off because of the big signing he's made? He put big money on Will Ospreay, big money on Kazuchika Okada, big money on Mercedes Moné. To me, honestly, Mercedes Moné, since she's been there since March, has been a waste of time. The only time that I just saw her do anything that was interesting was this week when she got powerbombed by Willow through a table. And 95% of the time, when you see someone gets powerbombed to a table or something happens, the champion loses. And I'm hoping to God that Willow does not lose her belt to Mercedes Moné, to give the TBS title to Mercedes Moné. Honestly, Mercedes Moné should have been doing something else. She should have been doing something with Saraya, because Saraya and her have a history. It was a match with Saraya, where Saraya hurt her neck and was never wrestled again, because in a match with Mercedes Moné. And Monet was the person in the ring when that injury happened. Why did they go that route? Why did they go to that route? So, that's what I'm saying. So, again, AEW's future in Warner Media looks like it's going to be fine, but I don't think they're going to get the money they want. Okay. Now, again, we're just speculating and rumors. They wanted me, Warner Brothers Discovery lost the bet in getting the TV deals with NBA. But again, the source that's actual comment came from was from Bill Simmons, who's a very dedicated podcaster, a guy who knows his stuff, knows people. The word is the NBC got the NBA back. NBA used to be in the NBC before Warner, before TNT, Ted Turner, whatever it was, took over the NBA. So this is kind of crazy. So does this work out for AEW? In a way, it does, but in a way, there's a negative in it, and that is they may not get the money that they want. Therefore, they might have to cut talent. They might have to. There's no other way. They might have to cut talent. I could write down a couple of guys that you get rid of. You know what I'm saying? You don't need in there. You know what I'm saying? For one, Jeff Hardy, you could get rid of him. Why you have Jeff Hardy still there? You still got Butcher and the Blade there. I don't know if they on the contract. I know their contract was up. It's ridiculous. But it is what it is, and we'll see what happens. So more AEW news, and this one was kind of sad because I'm a big fan of this guy, Eddie Kingston. He has a fractured tibia, and he is going to be out for a while. Now, the injury, fractured tibia, I myself fractured a tibia about 14 years ago in a softball game. And let me tell you guys, it's not fun. It is not something that you're going to recuperate overnight. It takes over 8 to 9 weeks, probably even more, 10 weeks to recover from that, to actually have strength again in the ankle. The spot where Gabriel Kidd went and suplex Eddie Kingston through the table from the mat. I mean, you knew the minute he hit that it was not good. It was not good. And it kind of messed up the whole anarchy in the arena match because now, they put now Darby Allin in there. Now, I put on Twitter that why they put Darby Allin as part of this. I got people who say, "Oh, he's part of the pillars of AEW." Okay, I understand that. Why not? He's one of the guys that could be in there because Jack Perry, who's also part of the pillars. But here's my problem with that. My problem with that is he was not taken out by the New Elite. He was taken out by Jay White. So I don't understand how you bring a guy like that into the fold and whatnot, and go and now take him out of that storyline where he's been hurt and put him now in the Elite situation. Now, the crazy part that I put was, why would you put Darby Allin, who's still recovering from getting hit with a bus here in New York City about 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago? He got hit by a bus, by a city bus here in New York City where I live at. But now they're going to go and put him in a match, Anarchy in the Arena, to do what? He's already hurt. So he broke a foot. Why would you even know? What's wrong with Tony Khan? Doesn't make no sense at all. Doesn't make no sense at all. And people got on my case. People were like, "Oh, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah." If this is a storyline, for one, Darby should not be in it. I would have went that route, and I said they should have put Claudio. But people are telling me that Claudio most likely is going to turn on Danny Bryan. Even better, you could have put Claudio be part of that, and then he turns on Danny Bryan or Bryan Danielson in the match, and then you got a bigger storyline there. So I really don't understand that one. I really don't. But but it's crazy because this is something that I was really looking forward to. Danny Bryan or Bryan Danielson teaming up with Eddie Kingston. These guys like arch enemies. And I think that's the reason also that now it looks like Claudio's going to turn on BCC. He might turn on Bryan. And then Moxley cannot be included because Moxley's going to defend his belt against Takeshita. And talking about Takeshita looks like he wasn't happy being in America in the beginning. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with AEW. A lot. And so we're going to go now and talk about the AEW rating drops that happened this week. So this week, they were under, if I'm correct, were under 700. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. It just continues to get bad for them. It does. I mean, there's no other thing to even. Let me see. I'll tell you right now. There's nothing else you can say about it. The crazy part is that. Let me give me a second here. I'm trying to get the ratings right now. The ratings, AEW, the ratings, there was 672,000 views, a 5% drop from last week. Last week, I believe there were 700 and I think 44, if I'm correct. Let's see. I'll tell you right now. 703. So now, for one, I mean, you had Jeff Cobb teaming up with Kyle Fletcher against, I believe, with Danny Bryan and Jon Moxley in this match. Pretty good. Pretty much the New Japan TV champion coming out for AEW was good. It was good. I think the only thing that really boring me in this whole thing was, number one, Number one, the Jericho learning tree with Hook. No one cares for that. You hearing? Let me put it this way: when it comes to Chris Jericho, you hearing fans asking Chris Jericho to retire already. The guy's running out of ideas. He's no longer the guy with a bunch of personality, a bunch of gimmicks. It's horrible. I mean, and I believe, honestly, I think that Tony Khan is letting Chris Jericho do things like this and whatnot and write his own story. This is garbage. There's nothing else I can say about that, but it's garbage. And the only reason they put him with Big Bill is because, again, Ricky Starks is leaving AEW, and him and Starks, that's it. They're not teaming up no more. That their program, they even Starks said it. They they ran its course. So it's sad that you see this happening. And honestly, with the rating drop, 5% drop, you dropped to 672. I mean, that is, what else is to say? I've been a big defender of AEW. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna stand here and act like I never, I'm all for WWE, because listen, at the end of the day, AEW and WWE, those are the two main companies right now. And right now, WWE is kind of like slowed down a little bit. They're doing the King of the Ring. I don't care for that King of the Ring or Queen of the Ring. That doesn't do anything for me, because at the end of the day, I want to know, you win the King of the Ring, what is the end goal on that? Are they getting a title shot? Are they getting a world title? They didn't mention that. But when it comes to AEW, I've been a big defender of them, but let's be realistic. Swerve won the title and whatnot, but they're not pushing him big like they're supposed to. Yes, they give Christian a first title shot, and the storyline behind him makes sense, because Christian was the one, I believe Christian was the one who got pinned between the Darby Allin, or actually no, Swerve got put in a casket in AEW All In. So they're bringing that storyline back, which makes sense and whatnot. So I still think that the Swerve thing with having the Mongol Embassy turning on him, where's Prince Nana on all this? Prince Nana has not been seen since he got attacked by who the hell attacked him? I think it was the family, the Christian group beat him up, right? He hasn't been seen, but now this week, Swerve beat Christian. Well, actually not Christian Cage, Brian Cage, and Christian Cage beat him up and put blood. Used his family's photo, and he busted him wide open when he hit him with the glass, with the frame with the glass. And you see the blood gushing out of Swerve's side of the eye. That was nasty. But at the end of the day, that was all right. The Samoan Joe, I don't know what's Samoan Joe is back in the picture. I don't know what he's doing. My first thing I'm thinking, what's up with the Undisputed Kingdom? Why are they not being pushed like they're supposed to? Adam Cole was supposed to be is back. Adam Copeland got jumped this week and whatnot by the House of Black and whatnot. And Kyle O'Reilly came and helped him. And it looks like Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Copeland will be a team right now. But it looks like right now, for Double or Nothing, has Malachi Black against Adam Copeland. It's time for Malachi Black to win a championship, a singles championship in this damn company, So it's just a lot of stuff that I'm just like, and it's funny because my friend Mike said the same thing. I used to stay up to watch AEW because it attracted me the way it does. Now I'm more of, I'll watch it tomorrow. And that's the way I feel. This week, I couldn't stay up to watch the Dax Harwood with the Okada match. But at the end, thank God I didn't watch it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because at the end, again, these guys got jumped. They got beat up. And to have Darby Allin come and save the day, people may say, oh, you kind of hard on that. No. Why is Darby Allin coming in to save the day when this man was taken out by Jay White? And to top it off, he's hurt. He's not at 100%. He got hit by a bus here in New York City. Can anybody tell me if I'm wrong about this? AEW right now is struggling. This is probably the worst. Their 5th year in business, and this is probably the worst time they're going through. Tony Khan is not focusing on the brand. He's focusing more on the TV deal. This is why the ratings are dropping and whatnot. He's focused on that TV deal. Okay? He's signing everybody fucking away. Like, but not knowing that right now he thinks this victory that he probably thinks is that NBC took NBA. He figured, good, now I could ask for any money I want. But the problem is Warner Brother Media Discovery right now is on the $43 million on the red. He's not going to get the money he wants. He may get some of it, but he's not going to get, and the people are going to get cut. So I advise him, don't sign anybody more. Don't sign anybody else. There's nobody out there you should be getting in the first place. WWE's letting everybody go. I mean, first of all, you got Miro on the contract. Why is he not coming on TV? And I don't want to hear that he's hurt because he's been hurt mostly through his whole contract. So, Sammy Guevara may be making his debut again. Sammy Guevara, it's another guy. He's one of the guys that is reckless. He doesn't care about anything. You see what he did to Jeff Hardy, and he got suspended for it. Now he's back. He will be back. So I don't know what they're going to do, but honestly, let me know what you think about this video, because honestly, I think AEW right now is probably at this worst spot they've been ever. I mean, it's crazy. It's like they don't have that nostalgia. They don't have that little that heat they used to have before, as far as that positive heat. Like, oh, I gotta see this. It's not. You got Tony Storm getting into a ring with some chick who a couple of months ago was hanging out with, I believe was doing some TV thing with Johnny TV, whatever. And now she's with Saraya. So Saraya right now, she was up there, former world champion. They're not doing nothing with her either. It's just ridiculous. You got Deanna Purrazzo in there, one of the best fucking wrestlers in the world in there. They're not doing nothing by putting her against Thunder Rosa. I mean, what is going on? I mean, what are you doing? That's all I can say about that. So that is it for me, guys. Next week, I'll have my 5th anniversary show coming up. I don't know what I have planned yet, but it'll be my 5th anniversary and whatnot. I want to thank those who has been supporting the podcast for the last 5 years, and I hope that you guys join me next week as we go again and talk about wrestling and whatnot and all the crazy stuff that's going on. And I'll tell you a little bit of my experience as a wrestling podcaster, because it's been a crazy 5 years and whatnot. Met a lot of people, met a lot of wrestlers, and I'll be talking about that and whatnot. But also, if you guys want to follow me, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the YouTube channel. Of course, I want you guys to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to target for 400. We're at 350, 400. We want to go continue to get more subscribers and whatnot into my podcast, and let everybody know about the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Also, I got a podcast store. It's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. You can see the t-shirts, the hoodies, the hat. Go check that out and, support the podcast by getting yourself a merchandise. I would have really, really appreciated one. You can also check my TikTok. I got a TikTok, the Chokeslam Wrestling. You can check that out. So I'm everywhere, guys. I'm everywhere that you want to check me out and whatnot. We're still trying to work something. I'm probably doing audio in the future. Again, Spotify never gave me back my episodes, so I'm done with Spotify. I'm done with all that, so I'm very sorry about that. That's all I can say about that. So hopefully, in the future, I get something popping again. Until then, guys, I appreciate all your help, all your support, everything that you guys has done in the last 5 years, and definitely next week, it's the 5th year anniversary. I hope to be with you guys again. And until then, I'll see you guys very, very soon.